Hello students, let's study tissue, fluid and lymph. Now you know that a group of cells that makes the tissue. Now in the tissue there is a fluid in which the cells are bathing. That is intracellular. In between the cells, the fluid which is present, intracellular fluid or intercellular, in between the cells, intra or intercellular fluid which is present in the tissues. Now it is the blood which carries the nutrient, which carries the oxygen to different parts of the body. From artery it goes into the capillaries. Now capillaries are present in the tissues. From the capillaries, plasma and leukocytes, they leak out. They come out of the capillaries. Capillaries are very fine blood vessels. So plasma, that is the fluid part which contains nutrient, and the leukocytes, which is the cellular part, leaks out of the capillary and it bathes the cell which is present in the tissue. So now this fluid which bathes the cell is known as tissue fluid. Now this tissue fluid is reabsorbed by the blood vessels, but some they remain. That liquid is known as lymph. It goes through another channel. So there's another set of channel in which the remaining tissue fluid goes into, and that becomes lymph. So now there's a tissue fluid, some is reabsorbed, some comes into another channel. So that becomes a very important part of our immunity, that is the lymph. It comes into the lymph vessels. The fluid which is present in the lymph vessel is the lymph. Now this lymph is present in the vessels. Whenever the contraction of muscle takes place, the lymph, it goes into the channel. So by the contraction of the muscle, lymph comes into the lymph vessels, and from lymph vessels it comes into the lymph nodes. And from lymph nodes it goes into the lymph channels. So fresh lymph channels are formed when the lymph reaches the node, and then it is collected by the veins which is close to the heart. It is subclavian vein which collects this lymph and it carries it to the heart, that is the right auricle, by the superior vena cava. So this is how the tissue fluids, they are recycled in the blood. So here you can see the network of this lymph vessels. These are the lymph nodes. They form the channels, but remember, only when the contraction of muscles takes place. So the people, those who are active, they have better circulation of lymph and therefore better immunity. Now sluggish people, they'll retain the lymph in their body. So activity is must. So here you can see there are various lymph glands, lymph nodes, and the channels which are formed, the vessels, lymph vessels which are formed. So there is on this neck region also we have tonsil, which is the lymph gland. Here you can see this right lymphatic duct which is opening into subclavian. Now thoracic duct which also open into subclavian. Subclavian, it opens into the right atrium of the heart. That is by this posterior vena cava, it enters into the right atrium, and that is entry into the heart. Now, there are lymph nodes and lymph glands at various regions. Here you can see in the axil of the arm, you can see this lymph glands. Here in the axil of the limb. Then here in the groins also you can see this glands. So actually this glands, they help to protect our body with their leukocytes, lymphocytes, monocytes. They protect the body from the local injury, local infection. So supposing there's some infection, some cut in your hand, then you can feel that at the axil of your arm. If there is any injury in your leg, you can feel in the groin. That is very healthy because your immunity system is working, your cells are working to not to spread the infection throughout. It is the local at the local point they stop the infection, and therefore you remain healthy. So here you can see this spleen is also a lymphatic organ. Then there are many lymph glands which are present here. There are lymph nodes are present throughout. Now in the ileum, in the intestine, there are lacteal drains, that is they absorb. In the villi are present the lacteals. They absorb the fats from the villi and drain it into lymphatics. So here you can see this lymph nodes which are present throughout, and there are lymph vessels and lymph channels which are present throughout. So this is distribution of main lymph vessel in the human body. Now let's see the composition of lymph. Cellular. The cellular part, lymphocytes are present for protecting our body. Now in the non-cellular part, it is water, 94% is water. Then 6% is solids, that is protein, fats, carbohydrate, enzyme, antibodies, etc. Now the function of the lymph, it is nutritive. That is, it gives nutrition to the cell, it gives oxygen to the cell, and it takes away the metabolic waste and conducts it through the lymph vessels. It drainage is one of the function. It drains the fluid, extra tissue fluid, the metabolites are drained, and the remaining protein is collected and given to the blood vessels. Then absorption. Here the lacteals, they absorb the fat from the villi of the intestine and drain it into lymphatics. So here absorption of fats takes place. Defense. Most important function is defense. That is, it protects us from the bacteria at the local level, and it protects our body from various infections. So lymphocytes and monocytes are present in the lymph, and the lymphatics, they remove the bacteria, bad bacteria which enters our body. So this is the function of the lymph. Now spleen is the largest lymphatic organ. It is approximately like our closed fist, equal to the size of the closed fist. Now it's situated behind the stomach and above the left kidney. Here, this is not kidney, actually it is not lying below, it is like this, and it is darkish brown in color. and it is situated behind the stomach above the left kidney. Now, spleen, the function is very important. Now you can donate your blood approximately 350 ml or 300 ml. It's only because of spleen. Spleen is the reservoir of blood, and if there is any hemorrhage, there is cut, excessive bleeding, that is spleen starts producing the blood. Whenever there is excessive bleeding, there is donation of blood or whatever the problem, or sometimes due to pollution of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide has got more affinity towards the blood, so your body will be filled with carbon monoxide. That time spleen will give out more blood, fresh blood, which will take the oxygen and supply to the body. So it is the blood reservoir. In case of emergency, it is spleen which releases the blood. And the lymphocytes are present. They are immunity cells. They protect the body from various infections. Then they also destroy the worn out RBCs. So destroys worn out RBCs. Liver also does the same function. So it helps the liver in destroying the worn out RBCs. Now in embryo, when the child is in mother's womb, it produces RBCs. So spleen produces RBCs in the embryonic form. So all these functions are done by the lymph. So this system is very important for us.